All right.
All right. So like just to pick up where we left off, like the 144,000 and the two witnesses, like it's my understanding that the context of it is like the two witnesses are there with the 144,000 to like preach the gospel. And like
Yeah.
um what it says is that basically they're through the preaching that it says like they're going to be tormenting the earth. Like it says something like, maybe you can even look it up, I don't know, but it's
Yeah.
like, and what I wrote in my Bible is like a preacher like is supposed to torment. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's supposed to be like, dang, like this is tormenting me, the truth, like the Bible, the gospel, like the biblical truths, like I'm
Yeah.
tormented by this because it's cutting me so deep. Like there's the verse in Hebrews where it's like the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper
Yeah.
than any two-edged sword, like cutting down to the bones and the marrow and the, and even to the soul and the spirit. And it's like the preaching in the Bible is supposed to like cut you deep and torment you to like win you over to the truth. So the 144,000 is definitely not all the Jews get saved in the at the last second. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah, definitely not for sure. And yeah, like that, thank you for explaining that to me because like I don't know, I just don't want to ever like just take somebody's word for it because I
Yeah.
was like, okay, there's gotta be good reason for somebody like saying that these are the 144,000 and this is their mission. They're gonna be
Yeah.
soul winning basically. So like yeah, that makes sense, bro. Like I got my confirmation now. But yeah,
Because
like
it's like
that verse is like yeah, of the two prophets, it's let's see, Revelation 11:10. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry and shall send gifts one to another because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth. And that's the tormenting of the two prophets, and everybody else is happy because they just got killed.
right. And it's like why and then look up Revelation. I think it's 11:20. Look that up real quick
11:20.
too.
Okay, okay.
But it's like why out like they're going to be there during the wrath and they're going to have the seal of protection, so they're going to be protected from the wrath. So it's like what else are they doing there? Like they're just like hanging out. It's like they're there on a mission to like to preach to try to like win people over during the wrath. I think
Yeah,
it's 11:20.
there's only 19 verses on
Oh,
in this
dang.
verse, chapter
Look
11.
up is it like 11:9 maybe?
Let me see, 11:9. And they, the people who see bodies, shall not suffer the put to be put in graves.
No, the verse I'm talking about is the spiritual Sodom. I'm pretty sure it's Revelation 11 something.
Hold up. Let me
Spiritual
actually
Sodom.
just what should I look up? KJV,
Like look up Revelation spiritual Sodom in Egypt.
Sodom and Egypt. Yeah, 11:8.
Oh, there we go.
So, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. And yeah, let me see. What
That
is
well
like the key word?
that's it. That's it because it's talking about how Jerusalem today is spiritual Sodom in Egypt because that's where our
Okay.
Lord was killed. It's like
Yeah.
these Christians are like it's all about Israel and it's like it's all about spiritual Sodom.
For
Like
real. Yeah. Okay. I see where you're going. Yeah.
it's like this is a wicked nation. This is a false. This is the place where they killed our Lord, and these are the people that killed him. The Jews who both killed the Lord Jesus. It's like these. There's no reason why we should be supporting or fellowshipping or having it. Like, dude, I've had conversations with Christians where it's like, oh, we visited a synagogue and we felt right at home.
What?
It's like, excuse me, like, it's like, dude, what? You felt right at home at the synagogue of Satan? That's a little weird.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, this is like in the Epstein files is how like how many times is like Goyim and like this concept brought up? It's like these are like wicked Satanists, these Jews over there, These aren't like God's chosen people. Like I was at a church because we're Baptists, so we like to eat. So sometimes there's like eating and feasting after services and stuff on a special occasion. And this older guy was like, they're God's chosen. And
Bruh.
I'm just like, yeah. I'm just like staring at him awkwardly, and it's an awkward silence because I'm just like, mm-hmm. It's
Bruh.
like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, what are you talking about? How, like, how,
Bro, what the
and almost like it's to me, it almost comes across slightly like Calvinist or something, where it's like, well, just because of who they are, they're
Oh
just
yeah.
born to be chosen, no matter what. What are you drinking?
It's an energy drink.
Oh boy, baby. Oh,
Sorry.
what is
Sorry,
that?
friend.
Renegade or something or
It's rain.
rain? Rain.
You see.
Christ will rule and reign.
Orange dreamsicle.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, you're like that's like a very Hispanic, like orange. I don't know.
I don't think so. No, not really. Not really. I don't know.
At
Is it?
least it's not. I don't know. I'm just being racist.
I
But like,
think,
what's
bro,
the? I wanted to
I
say.
think it's the most whitest thing ever because it's kind of like a Twinkie. Because it's a dreamsicle has white on the inside, you know.
Oh yeah,
So it's
okay. Because it's
like
like
I don't know, it's like
creamsicle.
it's orange on the outside, maybe because you've been out in the sun, you get a little orange, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And but in the inside you're purely white. I don't know.
You're chosen on the inside.
Yeah.
But you want to know a funny joke? Because I've kind of got you into Owen Benjamin a little bit. You
Yeah, a
want to know a
little.
funny Owen Benjamin joke? Like, because you know how like the Jews wear like the little hat,
Yeah.
and then he has a joke where like the Mexicans wear like the big hat, and then he's like the Mexicans have like a tanner skin so they can handle the sun,
Yeah.
whereas Jews are like obviously like the whitest people ever, so like they are not like fit to be in the sun. So he's like they should switch hats
Yeah,
because
for
it would
real.
be more beneficial if the Jews wore like a bigger hat to like protect them from the sun.
Yeah, for real.
But
Hey.
but at least you're not drinking like a Monster Energy. Like, you remember that crazy lady who's like talking about the Monster Energy drinks? You ever see that
Yeah,
video?
yeah, apparently it's because of the Jewish six and it's like
Yeah,
666 and like the
right,
cross and the O and it's like when you drink it up it's
right.
upside down cross.
Like, but you know what's funny about that is like when that video first came out like 10 years ago, or whenever it was, like
Yeah.
we were all like, she's nuts. But now it's like, dang, maybe she was like onto something a little bit. I don't
I
know.
don't know,
But
maybe, but like, bro, I don't believe it, bro.
okay, all right,
I
fair enough.
personally don't believe it because like I mean, especially like Hebrew, it's like it's gotta be just like that. I don't
Like
think
it's
it's
more like a seven.
yeah, I mean it's it like I don't know, bro. Like it even if it's 666, bro, like you got King Solomon receiving like 666 like I don't know, shekels of gold or something. I don't even freaking know. Like
Oh, really?
in like Second Kings or something. And
Huh.
I mean, like who knows? Maybe it was kind of like foreshadowing, but like
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Like, but something interesting about the upside down cross thing.
yeah,
I've heard Catholics make this argument.
yeah.
Um, uh, because like there's certain things like when you can like listen to like Catholic preachers and like Orthodox preachers and different things, and like sometimes there's like an interesting point in there. It's like
Sure, yeah.
sometimes Ben Shapiro makes an interesting point. It's
Yeah.
like
Facts don't care
you know what
about
I
your
mean?
feelings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the facts are that,
You're a
that the
Satan.
Holocaust wasn't real. But it's like but the cross upside down, I heard a Catholic guy make this point. I was actually like, "Ooh, that's actually interesting." Because like that we're taught that like the Satanist symbol is like the upside down cross or whatever. And then
Mhm.
the Catholics see the upside down cross as like that's the cross of Peter because
Yeah.
allegedly he was like crucified upside down. So I was like, that's kind of interesting. Like maybe the upside down cross isn't like necessarily satanic or something. I don't know. Um, but anyway, let's talk about foreskins. You want to talk about
Foreskin.
foreskins? Yeah, yeah. So I'm in like Samuel right now, and
Okay.
you know the story of like
Yeah.
Saul is like, go bring me 100 foreskins of the Philistines.
Yeah.
And then David's like, I'll bring you 200.
For real.
Yeah, buddy. And I was like reading that, and like this time, like reading it through, I'm like, what is this? Like, this is very weird. Like, what's the purpose of this? And I was really like contemplating it, and So the circumcision thing, it was like obviously like a Jewish custom back then. And what I'm getting at it is because like David, like brought the head of Goliath back with him, and he's like, and that's a common thing in like warfare back then is like let's bring back the enemy's head to like as a
Yeah.
trophy or something. And then like in Vietnam, like guys would like cut off the ears of the Viet Cong and like wear them as a
Dang.
necklace as like trophies. So it's like what I'm getting from that is David is bringing back these trophies. It's a trophy, and then also it's like evidence, like, hey, look, I killed these guys. Like it's probably
Yeah.
hard to like fake a foreskin,
For real.
and also it's almost like a humiliation for the enemy because when the Philistines come and collect their dead, all their pants are going to be down and they're missing the
Uh,
foreskin. So it's like a mark of like the Jews
Dang.
got you, you know? And so it's like it's a
Oof.
trophy and it's like it's a humiliation for the enemy. And then also um uh dang, what was I going to say? Um
The Jews
it's
got you.
like it displays that like David was like Saul is trying to send David into the heat of the battle. Like he's like, bring me back their foreskins. That means you can't like have a bow and arrow. Like you got to go like hand to hand, like close quarter combat, like sword, like like he's trying to get David to die. And so it's like David was like close quarter combat with these guys. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. That just popped in my head
Yeah.
because I'm reading it right now. But anyway, do you have any other random
Man.
thoughts or
Uh,
anything?
dude, I mean, I don't know, just that, yeah, it seems like, yeah, I mean, even if they used arrows, they would have to like have a cleared out kind of space to do it. You know what I mean? Because like imagine like you're in the heat of battle and you're like, oh man, let me get this guy's foreskin. It's kind of like I don't know, maybe I'm visualizing it too much where like I think they just like had to kill a bunch of people and like
Yeah.
somehow still keep it clear, even if they're still fighting people, to even be able to do that, because while somebody's like taking the foreskin, or while he is taking the foreskin, who knows? Like maybe I'm misreading it because like, did he actually physically was the one who took the 200 ones? Like, was he like the only guy? I feel like isn't there people that came with him and he led
Yeah.
them and like, everybody was like taking, whoever they killed, So
Yeah.
it's like, um, another thing that kind of popped into my mind there is kind of like every time I read the David versus Goliath and like the aftermath, I don't what do you think? Like when the women are singing, Saul slayed his thousands and David his 10,000s. They ascribe to him in this song 10,000s. But I mean, of course, I think it's obvious that he didn't. David literally did not like literally slay 10,000 people. They're just
Yeah.
ascribing him in like this song, which is not literal. It's like, yeah, Saul is cool, but David is ultra awesome, is what
Yeah.
they're kind of like. They're ascribing him more like glory,
Right.
and like that's what like pissed off Saul because like did Saul go there and actually kill anybody after that? I don't think so, right? Like it was like the whole army went forward after the Philistines and David, he only killed Goliath. David stayed like in that place and he went back to like his tent or something, like some quarters with the head of Goliath, right? And like I don't think David went out there with the army to like kill multiple other people. I don't think. Like, what do you think? Like, I'm just going by pure memory, by the thoughts that I had as I was like reading these stories, because some people are like, who of course don't even read the Bible. They'll say like, "Oh, I mean, I'm remembering this comment from this one guy who was like, the Lord teaches my fingers to war, and I do this when I do jujitsu. While I do jujitsu, I'm praising God." And it's like, no, you're just kind of being a little gay there with some rolling around the floor with some guy, and you just want to make it look spiritual. But anyways, um, like like he was trying to say that he was, glorifying God in that way, worshiping God in that way. and that like, oh, look at David, he killed 10,000 people. And it's like, well, in that story, it's coming from a song from a bunch of girls who are like, whenever you make a song, you use like things that are like kind of like over the top, even what term am
Sure.
I trying to use? Kind of like
Yeah. Yeah.
exaggeration, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like a
And like
song making technique. So it's like it's not that he literally went to kill 10,000 people. I mean, killing Goliath was like killing 10,000 people in
yeah.
a way.
And obviously like Saul and David and these guys like they're the ones like leading the battle or leading they're like the captain or the general like in that moment. So like,
Hmm.
they would be the ones that like get the credit. Like obviously there's like an army with them and stuff.
Yeah.
Um but something interesting about that verse that you just said, I think it's in Psalms, and it's like the Lord teaches my hands to war and my fingers to fight.
Yeah.
Get this, there was a missionary who came to this church I was at, and he's a missionary to the deaf. And like he's not deaf, but like that's just his mission is like I want to like do sign like preach in sign language to deaf people so they can get the gospel and stuff.
Yeah.
And he used that verse at the start of his sermon. I was like, "Ooh, that's good." Like the
Yeah.
Lord teaches my hands to warm my fingers to fight, and he's like talking about like my sign language, talking about like applying it to like a spiritual fight. And this can lead into something where uh like something that I've been accused of is like because I preach out of the Old Testament
Hmm.
that um the Old Testament like doesn't apply. This goes back to what we're talking about with the Christian Zionists. Like
Yeah.
they say like the Old Testament doesn't apply to us and it's not like relevant to us, so it's like incorrect. The accusation that I received was that it's the wrong amalgamation because it's like the Old Testament is like talking to specific people at a specific time and it's not relevant to us. And and these are the same people that will say like, as for me and my house, we'll serve the Lord, like Joshua and stuff. It's
Yeah,
like,
literally.
and it's like, so these Christian Zionists will like pick and choose, what verses out of the Old Testament they can preach out of. And if you take an unauthorized verse and you apply it to today,
Yeah.
then you're like believing replacement theology or something. Whereas like what we believe is that the whole Bible is for us. And again, we're like we said in like the first or second video, is like we're grafted into this tree. So like now all this applies to us. And then in the New Testament, it explains that like the Old Testament, these stories are put in place like for us to like learn from,
Yeah.
you know, and we can apply it to our life today. Like how many of these Christian Zionists preach David and Goliath? It's like, hold on, buddy, that's not about us. That's a specific people at a specific time.
Yeah.
And so you can't preach out of that.
Yeah.
And I've never like explicitly preached replacement theology or anything, but it's like I've just been like accused of that just because I preach out of the Old Testament. And one
What?
of the reasons why I preach out of the Old Testament is a lot is just because I'm reading the Old Testament a lot.
Yeah.
I'm just like in it a lot because it's interesting to me. And it's interesting to like read the Old Testament and try to like find Jesus and like find spiritual applications that we can like apply to our life today. And it's all over the place. And
Yeah.
like the whole New Testament is like when the New Testament was going on, when like Jesus was preaching or like Peter or like Paul or these guys when they were preaching, like the New Testament wasn't like written down. Like they didn't have like a New Testament Bible yet. Like
Right.
they're in it and they're constantly like referring to the Old Testament and they're constantly being like as it is written
Yeah.
and these kind of things. And it's like, have you not read?
Yeah.
And it's like what's like there's nothing wrong with preaching out of the Old Testament or like being fascinated by the Old Testament and trying to like apply it to your life
Yeah.
and I don't know if so now I'm just like I said earlier, maybe it was in the second one, but it's like now I'm just like the gloves are off and I'm just like it's like fine, I'm replacement theology then. Like I'm not gonna like shy away from this anymore. It's like they could smell it on me or something. It's like I can't escape it. It's like I never put that out there but they could smell it on me and it's like they just
Yeah.
sensed it out or something. And the thing is it's like it's always like another preacher or it's like leadership within the church that always had a problem with me, but it was never the people. Like I always could
Wow.
connect with the people, with the audience. It's always like some other preacher comes in and like has a problem with me or something. And
Hey,
it's
that's
like,
the envy.
right. And then that leads back into the Saul thing where like Saul should just be like, David's
Happy.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. David's
I'm glad he's on my
I took it.
side.
Yeah. He's my boy. Like I'm the leader. I killed thousands. And then David, my underling, is like doing 10,000s. Like I'm glad, like that's cool. Like he's my guy. Like I'm training him up. He's under me, and look at what he's doing. Like he's expanding on the work and the effort that I've done. And instead of having that mindset today, the preachers are all like Saul. And like there's a verse too in the Old Testament or in the New Testament somewhere where it's like you're not supposed to like lord over God's people. You're not supposed to like have lordship over them and like be like I'm the king here. I'm the preacher here and no I don't want any new blood around. It's
Yeah.
like let the new blood in. These churches are dying out. And
Yeah.
that East Side church like that I used to go to that like you've looked into, like it's just all old people now. They scared off the young people. They scared me off, they scared off another young couple. Like it's just all old people and they don't even have a pastor anymore. And it's like that church is like being cursed right now or something. And it's like, you guys need to let the new blood come in and like get to work and stop hindering us
Yeah.
because you're going to die out. You're done. The Zionism is done now.
Yeah.
Like this pre-trib is done. This is over. We're not tolerant of homos. It's like
Yeah.
this is done. Like
Hey,
we're
get out
we're
the way. Let us come in. We're the real deal who are actually going out there and doing the soul winning, getting the people saved. We're actually doing what the Bible is teaching. We're believing the Bible holistically. So yeah, like you said, like I mean, like I think I'm probably just taking this from you from a previous video. But yeah, like I just found that verse, I think, that you were talking about. First Peter chapter 5. It says, Verse 1, the elders which are among you, so to the elders, I exhort, who am also an elder and a witness of the sufferings of Christ, and also a partaker of the glory that shall be revealed. Verse 2, feed the flock of God which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. Verse 3, neither as being lords over God's heritage, but being examples to the flock. And then like in verse 5, then it says like, likewise ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elders. So like of course we're kind of like seeing like speaking to the older folk and then speaking to the younger, the new gen. So
yeah. And,
um,
and can you read the part where he says like be an example?
mhm. Neither as being lords over God's heritage, but being examples to the flock.
And something that he says before that he says,
Mhm.
can you read the thing where he's like feed the flock or something?
Yeah. Verse 2, feed the flock of God which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. That's verse 2.
And if you remember, after Jesus Christ is resurrected and he's kind of talking with Peter,
Yeah.
and Jesus says like, "Do you love me?" And
Yeah.
then Peter says, "Yes." He says, "Feed my flock." And then he's
Hmm.
like, "Do you love me?" "Yes." "Feed my sheep." "Yes." "Feed my lambs." So it's implying um you need to feed the flock, Peter. And then Peter now, later on, when he's writing this, he says, he repeats what Jesus said. And he says,
Yeah.
feed the flock and be an example. And that's what Jesus did. Jesus fed the flock and was an example. Now he's handing it to Peter. Peter, feed the flock, be an example. And he's continuing what Jesus said. He's now being the example, like in feeding what Jesus said to do. And now he's telling other people to go do that. Now you feed the flock. Now you be an example, like how I did and like how Jesus did. And he's passing the torch on. And Jesus handed him the torch. Now he's passing it to other people. And instead, these people are like, let's just put the torch out. Let's not
Yeah.
feed the flock. Let's not teach them any doctrine because they can't handle it. Like the old IFB method is like, let's have a soft Sunday morning sermon that's feel good and it's a gospel presentation because we don't go out and do any soul winning. So
Right.
let's hypnotize them, let's peer pressure them to come to the altar, and then let's not give them any doctrine. Let's not feed them because they can't handle it. They look at people like they're stupid. And, I never looked at God's people, or even like in my Sunday school class with like teenagers, I never looked at them like they're stupid. And I would tell them that
Yep.
all the time. I'd be like, you guys are not stupid. I
Yeah.
look at you guys like you guys are young adults. Like you guys aren't children to me. There's no teenager in the Bible. It's child and then there's an adult. You guys are adults. I'm
Hmm.
not going to talk down to you because it's like all these boomers in the church would like talk down to them and talk weird to them and
Dang.
like and look at them like they're less or something. And I'm trying to prop them up. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, you know, like do something. Like I'm trying to like get out there, do something, like make a change. Like these teenagers are, some of them were saved and some of them weren't. And I had the opportunity to get some of them saved and things like that. And
Nice.
it's like you need to like do something. Like these kids, these Sunday school kids are like their parents are like dead or in prison or drug addicts, and they're like they don't even live with their parents, and like it's just such a chaotic life. And I'm trying to like show them the way and show them a way out, and like you can do something, you can like improve the situation, you can turn around and have a family, and you can follow God, and you can like break these patterns, you know. And then just like through that pursuit, like there's just so much persecution for some reason, and it's like, and again, I think it's like the Saul thing. Like, I don't know if it's envy or, but it's like I'm trying to shake stuff up. Let's do something. Let's get fired
Yeah.
up. Let's go and do the soul winning. Let's go out there and do that. And then they just like poo-poo the soul winning, and and they're because they're just so scared to do it themselves. And dude, I used to get so
Mhm.
mad because like they wouldn't do door to door, and then I'm just like one day I think that sermon is on my YouTube channel where I'm like. I think it's called like because of the multitude. And like towards the end of the sermon, I'm like, I'm going door to door. Like you can come with me or you can't come with, whatever. And I was like, I'm not asking for permission. I'm doing this. We're getting this done. We're going into this new year and like this is what I'm gonna do. So because
Nice.
that's what the preacher's supposed to do. Like the preacher's
Yeah.
supposed to be like, let's do this thing. And then I led it, and I even tried because I never did altar calls. But like this one time I'm trying to connect to the boomer.
Yeah.
I'm like, I even at the end I tried to do an altar call, and I was like, what's the multitude? Like what's holding you back? Like bring it to the altar, like get that out of the way, like get these people to Jesus. Let's do the soul winning. And nobody came to the altar call.
Ooh.
Nobody did it. And I was just like, I
Wow.
was sitting there after and I was watching it and I was like, wow, really? Like this is the mindset is like, and then, but I would get so mad because I would do the door to door with a friend, and they ended up being like turning on me because of the Jews and the homos and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not even friends anymore. But
Yeah.
like I was getting them out there, and I
Yeah.
was training them how to do it, and like trying to show them the way. But on we would do that on Sundays in between the services, and then on Thursday nights, um, they would do like an outreach thing. Like we'd go to like a parking lot somewhere, and like they would try to hand out gospel tracts, and I would
Okay.
get so frustrated because it was a couple boomer guys that would come out and they would like stand at the entrance of the Walmart and they'd be handing out the gospel tracts with their cute little like sayings like, hey, like can you tell me how to get to heaven from here? Anyway, come to church. And they would hand them the gospel tract,
What?
and then I would run in, and then I'm out in the parking lot. I'm not just
Yeah.
standing. I'm like out moving and trying to
Yeah.
grab people and stuff.
Yeah.
And um it would always be like, oh no thanks, we already got one. We
Bruh.
already got it. We
Yeah.
already got this pamphlet.
Yeah.
And then so they would walk away. And then so it's like this track ministry
Yeah.
would like hamper the gospel. And it's like it's preventing me from getting people saved because it's like they're like, no, I'm good, I already got your little thing. And
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. And and it's like I was seeing results out there. I'm like, I'm bringing the sheep home. It's like I'm getting these people saying I'm out there preaching. you
Yeah.
know but these people they have their cute little gospel tracks, and they'll walk up to people and be like, I just want to let you know Jesus Christ died for you, and then hand it to them and then walk away.
Hey,
And
this
it's
is
like
what
you're just
happened. This is
letting.
what happened, bro. I was working and somebody came and handed this to me. It was like, "Hey, man, this changed my life," and
Yeah,
they gave it to me. And it's got like NIV verses, and
yeah,
like it does follow the Romans road, but it's like, bro, like I'm like, is this Christian? Because if it was like J-Dub stuff, I was just gonna rip it in front of their
yeah.
face. But yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right.
keep going. I mean, I just wanted to like show this because I have it right here. Just that kind of
Yeah.
like. Yeah.
And
Because like, dude,
they
I
didn't get
agree. Yeah.
they didn't give you a gospel presentation. They're just
No,
like, this changed my life anyway. See you later.
pretty
Have
much.
fun on the way to hell. And then like the altar call thing, like that preacher would he would be doing the altar call and trying to get people to come up, and he'd be like, he would tell me later on, he's like, I saw it was like something was happening, and something was, they were moving, and but they didn't come. And then like when he's doing the altar call and then he prays after it, he's like, I hope the Lord takes away all your comforts, and I hope, and it's like this kind of thing. And then
Oh.
he would go, he would go to the front door and then shake their hand as they walk out and thank you for coming, have a great day. And it's like you're just letting them go to hell. You said you saw something in them, and
Yeah.
then you're just gonna let them go out and go to hell.
Yeah.
It's like these people have no love. There's
Yeah.
no love. They love the homos and they love the Christ killers,
Yeah.
but they have no love for the lost. There's no love. Like the Bible, like we were talking about, torment them. Like go like I would preach this kind of stuff and I'd be like, we need to confront. We need to confront them. This
Yeah.
is warfare. We need
Yeah.
to go out and like confront these people.
Yeah.
Interrupt their life. Interrupt their life.
Yeah.
This person's on the way to hell. Interrupt them. And then there's people like, for instance, at like the Walmart thing, it's like they're just coming to Walmart to get like, an item. And then
Yeah.
they leave and they're saved and their
Wow.
life is like totally different.
Literally.
And and like I would go into the ghettos, like these people have no love. I'm risking my life. Like people would pull up
Literally.
on us in the hood and be like, "Are you guys okay? Like what are you doing out here? Like please be safe out here. Like you shouldn't be out here." And like we would go into these nooks and these crannies of like these Section 8 housing where like you go down this alleyway and there's like 20 black dudes in a circle and we
Dang.
see them and we're like, I don't know, should we go? And then it's terrifying. But then we'd go with the boldness and we would make a connection. And it's like that's the real love. That's the battle. And these
Yeah.
people are not willing to fight. They're just like, I just want Donald Trump and I want cheap groceries. And then I'm up there preaching to these boomers, like blowing their minds because I'm like, I hope the groceries get more expensive.
Yeah.
And I hope that everything falls apart because then they'll draw people back to God. And they're like, no. It's like it's so backwards, dude. It's so
Yeah.
backwards, and it's so frustrating. Like like Jesus was homeless. Like the 12
Yeah.
guys with him, they were homeless. Like they didn't care about air conditioning.
For
You
real.
know, it's like these people, and it goes back to like I think the first video where it's like these people are so fleshly.
Yeah.
Like they're worshiping the Jew, that's flesh. They're worshiping the flesh. They're fleshly. They're like, I want my comforts. I want my air conditioning. I want my groceries, my gas to be cheap, as opposed to like having the mindset of, let it all fall apart. Like the mindset of Elijah.
Yeah.
Like Elijah's like, I hope it doesn't rain for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
I hope there's a famine. I'm preaching like a Bible preacher does, and it's so unfamiliar to them,
Yeah. It's so
and they're so
foreign.
shocked, and they're horrified, and they're tormented. It's a
Yeah.
torment, you know. But I
Yeah.
see it
They
as
got
mission
tormented.
accomplished.
Yeah.
I see it as mission accomplished because now that church is gonna die out, man. That church is done. It's just I've heard little I've because I have like I have a customer who I'm friends with who like still goes there,
Yeah.
and like I was talking with him like yesterday or something, and because I went to his house and he's telling me like there's no leadership, and he's kind of like we're kind of just showing up, and he's like, I don't know what the mission of the church is this year. Like churches will have like a motto or mission statement for the year, and he's
Yeah.
like, I don't know what's the mission, like what are we doing, like this is there's no, and he's telling me, and he's like, I don't think I belong here anymore. I don't think, like, I think I'm waiting. He's like, I've just been doing a lot of praying. And
Oof.
I'm just like trying to find out where God wants me to go because I don't think this is where I'm supposed to be. And it's like, you guys scared off David. And not that I'm like some special boy like I'm David, but it's
Yeah.
like you
The
scared
closest
off the
thing.
next generation. And it's like you guys are gonna die out. This boomer Christianity is done, man. The Epstein files are out. We're going. It's over, dude. Like nobody's buying this stuff anymore.
Yeah.
And like the altar calls are just like so just gay.
Yeah, they are.
You know? And it couldn't be more unbiblical. It's like the Jewish fable and the traditions of men. It's like it's the tradition of man to go and cry on the altar when the Bible says don't shed a tear on the altar.
Yeah.
But yet they have their little tissue boxes at the
Yeah.
front, you know? And these boomers, they leave their Bible on the pew, you know? It's like
Wow.
they like they don't even take the Bible home with them.
Wow.
And it's just such a vain Christianity, you
Yeah.
know? Anyway,
Dude, for real. Hey man, we got 4 more minutes if you
all
want
right.
to.
Um, I mean, I don't know. Do you got anything else? What do you
Dude,
got any thoughts?
dude, I mean, I like what I'm hearing and I agree, dude. Yeah, shoot. I mean, I think the one thing that I've been having on my mind is like, yeah, Zionism is finished and yeah, like something that I share with you is like, uh, something, we can sometimes be like, okay, I'm gonna like, just be humble and like go along with this certain church. And it's like, oh, it's a secondary thing, with Zionism. But like the more, things play out in the world, it seems like it's becoming more of a primary issue and like much more important. And I'm feeling that with the reprobate doctrine for real. Like, I mean, the things that I've seen play out, and I'm not gonna expound too much on this, but it's like, because we only have like a little bit of time. Like, it's like, wow. Like, people just surprise me and they end up being reprobates. And it's like the common denominator, they don't believe in once saved, always saved, and they can't. And just even going back, like just things just pop out like on Instagram and stuff. Like one thing that popped out was like Elisha and the two she bears with like the 40 something, 42, I think, children, which
Yeah.
were, basically teenagers. That kind of gave me an idea that like reprobation can occur during the teenage years. So it's like it's really like wow. I'm not going to like give the benefit of the doubt to teenagers now because it can 100% happen right there and
Yeah.
it's proven to have had happen. So, I mean, I'm not going to deny the Bible, the reprobate doctrine, and I'm also not going to deny my eyes? So,
Yeah.
I think yeah, we have like 2 minutes and 20 seconds, so I'm going to stop myself right there. But yeah,
Well,
bro.
the Bible says like I can't help but speak the things that I've seen and heard, you
Yeah,
know. And like do you want to do another one
sure. Yeah, we can go and
let's
do another one.
let's get into the reprobate stuff, and I
Yeah.
want to talk about how churches are creating reprobates. Let's do
Dang,
that.
yeah. Oof.
Let's do that. So how about we
All right.
just go ahead and end it, and then we'll
Yeah.
get into that.
All right, cool, bro. All
Okay.
right.